Good.
As soon as that turns green, that'll be YouTube.
Oh.
All right, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hanna in the building. Hanna's in the building. You know who I got? Better stop playing around. That's the A-L-O-T-T-O, baby. Salado is in the building. What's happening, my man?
First trip to Philly.
Yo, you like it?
Yeah, it's a good show.
It's the home. This home to Hanna.
Man, it's wild. This place is cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were so many custom cues in the world. Like, I just didn't know that it was like that.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly. All right, Facebook. Let me know we good. Let me know sound's still good. Everything's still good. We'll give you guys a couple of minutes to get in. But yeah, I'm here with Colby, right? That's what you said? All right, how to say your last name?
Frontiero.
Frontiero or Frontiero?
Either.
Right. We are, no, not either. You got to tell me how to say it. Frontiero. We're in the building. And these guys with the groundbreaking app, we're going to break it down. I'm tired about y'all talking greasy online about my mans. So, what was the impetus of you creating Salado?
We played leagues for years, played tournaments for years. Reed and I lived close together.
Okay.
And I would walk over to his house after league, and we played 10, 12, 15 racks in a night.
Right.
Just hanging out, playing, but they were good competitive racks. You want to win, right?
Right, for sure.
And we're like, one day, we're like, why don't these count? Like, we should make these count. We should be able to log these matches. And he's like, shit, let's do it.
Right.
So we thought about it for like a year, and then we competed in a grant, like a Shark Tank style grant in our state.
Okay.
And kind of didn't think anything of it, and they called us like a month later, and they're like, well, you guys won the grant. And we're like, oh shit, we better get to busy.
Right.
So we raised some private capital and went after it and partnered up with Fargo Rate, and then 2020 happened, and if you're building a meetup app for pool players and the world shuts down, that puts things in a bit of a wrench.
Sure does.
So it got weird, but we kept grinding and keep trying, and you build a disruptive product, and you have hate and you have fear, and you keep rolling. You know, you keep doing what you know you do, and our mission is to help people play more pool, and that's what we're doing.
That's a big fact. And I kind of saw a little bit of your journey because we was at BCA or whatever, Vegas. Vegas. We had Vegas, and every time I was there, I saw you guys, and I saw you guys grind out, and then I saw more people and more people until it was like a full-fledged booth experience, like people was there. And I was like, good for them, because a lot of times when people fail or they try something new, they get in there, Colby, and it's rough. The pool world is rough, y'all.
It is rough.
I'm gonna let y'all know it's no joke.
Yep.
You gotta be built for it. You gotta be built for that action, or you're gonna be in and out.
Yep, I grew up playing pool. Reed did too. We grew up, you know, our grandparents played and had tables, and my parents had a table, and it was like it was a family game. You know, my grandmother would make spaghetti every Sunday, and we'd go down and play pool on Sundays. You know what I mean? It's a big family, you know. So it was it's a pretty special game, and we love it, and we love lining up with people who have passion for the game and want to grow it.
I'll tell you some real. You know, man, I always keep it 100. I met my dude, right? Me and him was talking, and it was like a lot of things were aligning. And I was like, man, them dudes is all right. I was like, that dude is, I said, that man right there, he all right. You know, he's about it. You can tell, like, when it's not there, when that passion is truly not there, and especially with the amount of adversity that you guys face, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a product that has a level of skepticism that precedes it, because people have failed at it before, but also because it relies a bit on somebody's integrity. And sadly enough, not everybody has the integrity. You know?
Yeah. Michael Russell said, let's go Team Salado. Tanner Cruz. Come on, man. You know how Hanna do. Y'all don't know who I know. I know everybody, son. I know everybody. And here's the thing about me that you don't know. I will give everybody opportunity if I believe in what you do. If I don't believe in what you do, I'm not giving you that, because you're not going to come out there and slander what I'm doing.
Well, and we've seen you work hard too, and we appreciate that.
Yeah,
and especially with kids. I taught high school English for years, so I got a soft spot for youth, you know, and that matters to us. You know, it's cool.
I love them kids, man. It's happening. All right, so let's break this down, bro. I go get digital pool, I get Salado, I make a bunch of fake reps, and then I cheat the system. Break it down, dog.
It's very obvious when somebody's cheating, because A, if they know anything about Fargo Rate, you have to lose a lot to change your Fargo rating. and that becomes very obvious. We work with TDs around the country.
Yeah.
Jack Murray's one of our guys.
Jack Murray, that's the guy. That's that LA guy, the Mob stuff.
Mob Productions.
Yo, big shout out to you, man.
He's a good dude.
What you do.
He's solid.
He gets it in.
Yep.
He gets it in.
Yep. Joe Norton out on the East Coast.
That's over there at my man, a center pocket.
Yeah. So
Black Cat.
Yeah. So they'll call and Bobby Hilton with the Shark Stream.
Bobby Hilton, the Shark Stream.
Solid. These guys, they call. Hey, what's up? We see that Ra's got some sketchy matches, and we'll look at them and go, okay, all right, let's look at all these matches. Okay, he's got 500 robustness, 200 of them are Salado. Well, when we look at the Salado play, he's playing like dog, and when he plays in his tournaments, he's playing like cat. Okay, it's very like they paint their own picture.
Right?
It's like, what are you doing?
Self-snitching.
Yeah, self-snitching. So, and all the matches on Salado are public anyway.
Right.
So it's so obvious.
But they act like it's the cheat code. They're like, man, the only thing you gotta do is just go thump a Salado and then bring your featherweight down. So it's all bull.
I know, and I use this example a lot. But would it be obvious if I went to my son's track day and ran in his track events?
Absolutely.
It's the same damn thing.
Wow.
You know?
See? So,
and when we work with these league operators, Frank Marquardt's another one that we work with closely.
Okay.
League operators, tournament directors, Salado guys, Fargo rate. I mean, there's a unified front toward confronting bad behavior. And that's what we're dealing with. The industry needs to be cleaned up so that kids can get into it thinking it's a sport, not a game.
My man just talked me and he said, yeah, it does, bro.
It's a sport. Treat it like one. Look at the Europeans. That's why they're better. They treat it like a sport. They're training on road bikes. They're doing physical fitness.
You sound like Hanna. Don't you sound like Hanna?
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, bro.
We're not slacking, right?
Right.
What's the point?
No, we ain't slacking.
No.
But I think it's just a mentality, brother.
It is a mentality.
I always say, listen, I love the old school. Buddy Hall, Strickland, Nick Barn, and all that. I love that.
Right.
Their time to be in the limelight is done.
Well,
not the limelight. I just mean, you know what I'm saying? It's new.
Right.
It's new generation. Buddy Hall and those guys weren't breaking and know where the two ball was going to end up.
I know.
So you have to move it so they don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
We wasn't doing that.
Right.
We was hitting them as hard as we could and just taking what the table gave us.
Right. Well, and look at what the organizations are doing too. You've got Predator with their shootouts. You got Matchroom with their break boxes and the 9 on the spot. I mean, they're changing this and challenging the best players in the world. And what happens is it brings everybody up underneath because now these guys are aspiring to be on these TV shows.
I'm glad you said that. That's true.
It elevates.
So peep this, though.
Okay.
All right. So who changes the rules in the NFL?
I don't know. I don't watch football.
Who changed the rules in baseball?
You're barking up the wrong tree.
I'm keep going.
There's organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who changes the rules in pool?
There's a need for an organization.
You know, whoever got the money changed the rules in pool.
Right.
If I hit the lottery, I'd give you some.
All right.
But if I hit the lottery, right, let's say I make something stupid like 20 million.
Yeah.
And I make $1 million prize, and I say it's a race to one.
You're changing the rules.
And it's a race to one. Flip for the break. If the guy runs out and you get a chance to run back out on him, and that's it.
Yeah.
But the entry fee is $5,000. You can win $1 million.
Nobody's showing up.
All right. Okay. So then I say it's a double elimination, race to 7, winner break. Only one prize is paid, $1 million.
Big event.
Big bang, take little.
Why?
Tell me.
Longer the race, the more discriminatory. Because the better players want to play the longer races because it's more discriminatory.
Of course, I'm gonna catch up to you.
Yes.
You get lucky in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'll catch you.
Anything can happen in one rack, but in 7 racks,
nah.
And that sort of goes back to what we're talking about with Salado.
You see how I did that? Did you see how I did that?
Yes, I did see how you did that. All right, good. Nice work on that.
You like that?
Yeah.
That was good softball, right?
Yeah.
Went around.
That's good. Yeah. Long game. It's a long game.
But you know what I'm saying, though,
yeah.
man?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think you know when you know somebody's fighting a good fight?
Yep.
When you get all this opposition.
Yeah.
Man. I was like, damn, they really going after my dude like he's grimy. Like you was grimy. I was like, y'all barking up the wrong tree. And then when somebody is grimy, they don't get out and say nothing.
No, they don't.
Because they ain't the crew.
No.
They ain't the crew.
Yep.
They doing grimy stuff. They ain't the crew. You're benefiting, they're benefiting, everybody's benefiting.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna say nothing. But because my man is a stand-up dude and trying to do his work and changing how things are done, you wanna bark at him.
Yeah, why not, right? Go do what you gotta do. Get busy. Do the work.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Fargo Ray did. 6 years.
That's a
talk
fact,
about
bro.
a grind.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys.
What's my man? Mike Page?
Mike and Steve.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. I think I met the Mike Page guy one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had to be the most level-headed, calm, explaining stuff, getting lit up online guy I ever seen.
I know.
I don't know how he keeps his cool.
I know.
And does that.
He does a great job.
He keeps his cool, man.
Yeah.
And he breaks it down.
Well, and because they believe in it, they know what they're doing.
Right.
And it's working.
Okay.
Period. Same as what you're doing, same as what we're doing, same as what Cuetec's doing in Brunswick and CBPA and everybody here.
Everybody here is putting that work in to make it work. I feel you. And I think, I think it's more of us than there is of them.
Yes, absolutely. There are, and the data shows it.
Right, but I think that they might have a little more money than us, so it's like the residuals of them. It's like, I want to like Solado. I use Solado at home, but my boys don't use it, so I can't say that I use it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I want to be an advocate for it.
But there's also like a portion of us that I don't give a shit what they think. Like, let's say somebody doesn't like you, but I do like you.
Right.
And then we go out and we see those people that don't like you. Right. What do? Do I not talk to you?
Right. I feel what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I know you ain't like that. I know what you're saying.
Like, and that's I think the movement that needs to be created is these bad actors go away.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to be brutal.
And it's happening one at a time. I mean, we get calls or we see things online where the community governs these bad players. And you talk about governance. Mike Page will put a head on a stake. We've seen that. We've seen that happen.
He does. Very, very.
He's articulate.
Corporately and articulate. Yeah, I like the way he does it.
I do too.
He'd be like, "Shut up, sit down. I'm gonna tell you."
Yeah. Here's what we.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let you live.
And so. Right, yeah. So that's kind of what I think is happening now is people realize that everybody wants to play their best. None of these 12-year-olds want a low Fargo rate. They want a high Fargo rate.
You better believe that.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Well, good. I'm going to tell you. So I went to Mike Page. I was in that infancy. I said, yo, man, we should do Fargo for juniors. Mm-hmm. I told him. He gave me some super good explanation why it wouldn't happen. But then my junior said, oh, he don't have to give us. We're going to go and play.
Right. They're going to go play. And
that's what they
that
did.
rating will transcend.
Yeah, we got 700s playing in the juniors now.
Man, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So here's my thing, too.
Okay.
Here's my thing. For me, just me, myself, I want to do something. I don't know what I want to call them. I do know what I want to call them. I'm just not going to say it.
Okay.
But to me, a little bit, when you say junior, in some parts of the country and some things, it feels a little derogatory to me. Let me say it, because they're like, oh, he's so cute, little junior. You think that dude right there, playing right there, Sam Henderson, you think he's an old little cute guy?
I know.
You think Nico Conkel, you think Laz Martinez, you think Landon Hollingsworth,
right.
You think those guys are a little cute? You think Sophia Mass? Huh?
Right.
Shout out. Junior world champion Sophia Mass. Soph Mass, my girl.
Well, think about them.
BB?
The beauty of our game is that it is physically and metaphorically a level playing field. You're going to stack up against Savannah, you're going to get beat down. You're going to stack up against Jaws, you're going to get beat down.
That's a big fact.
Right?
And
it doesn't matter how big, how tall, how strong. They're going to play the game, and if you can't move the cue ball, you're going to lose.
Here's my thing to what I want. I just want a level playing field.
Yeah.
If you, let's say if we ran a contest, if you raise your Fargo from a 500 to a 700, you win this, you get this. You get these keys to the city, right? For everybody. You get these keys.
That's a Steve Ernst question.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get these keys to the city. I want to be the AAU of pool. The juniors come through me and they go to the pros, whether it's matchroom, whatever it is.
Yeah, a funnel.
You go to the funnel, right?
Yeah, right.
But I want to have definitive rewards and definitive this.
That's a good place to start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you're a young lady pool player or a young man. If you reach this level, this is what you get.
Yeah, you could do that.
And then we build Team USA. That's what I want.
I love that idea.
Because I think if we don't listen, bro, I don't have any kids or nothing, right? But I got 400 and something who I think is mine. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look out for them.
Yeah.
But
that's what you should do.
I think parents, we got to let go a little bit of the, I know you want to protect your kid, I know you're going to do it, but it's a tough world out there. They're going to hear it, they're going to see it, they're going to get it anyway. You can govern it and you know, let them get exposed to how much you want to. But we got to get tough, man.
Yeah, I agree. And that grit is needed. And you can learn grit on a pool table. You can learn to lose.
Yeah.
It's a one-on-one thing. You either make it a ball or you don't. You know
that's a fact. Ask Francisco. He was a junior world champion. He's right.
Good, man. How you doing? Good.
Junior world champion.
Yeah.
Holding him up. He's funny.
Yeah. But you're right. This acceleration and growth of the youth aspect of the game is going to continue to change it. I mean, you heard all these guys in their 20s and 30s are fretting over these young because they're coming and they're coming fast.
Oh yeah. You know what I get? The biggest compliment we got was former junior players came up to me and said, I wish this was around when I was working. I wish this was around when I was, I mean, all the time. And like players who I, like, man, for real? He's like, yeah, man, we didn't have nothing. We had one event a year.
Imagine the passion they had to have to come after it like that without these resources, you know?
Yeah. That's why I think it should be a path where they get rewarded, Kobe.
Yeah, but we have to be careful not to treat Davids like Goliaths. Have you read that book, The Talent Code?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So if we build them up too much, then they get soft.
So here's what Hanna does. I don't build you.
You got to earn it.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
When people ask me about the show, I say, yo, they did the rules. They did this. I ain't gonna let you do no funny stuff that's going to be contrary to the rules.
Right.
But my kids will tell you, we vote on stuff. Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
we vote on it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Oh, yeah. I make them vote. Because I don't want somebody to say, Rod did this, Rod did that, rah.
Right.
No. I put the structure.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, that's good. That's smart.
I tell them.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the static. Because I don't fight fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm not playing no game.
Right.
I'm punching in the face literally. We going to battle, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you think. I'm letting you know. For real. Yep. I don't care what you think because I think what I think is correct. It's been showing. And if I think something's out of line, my kids will come tell me.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Hanna. Da. You know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, consider it, right?
Yeah. Gotta consider it.
Well, and it's good if they do that because when they get an idea turned down, they also feel what that feels like.
Of course.
You know, you got to learn how this thing. Sometimes your ideas don't always work. Sometimes your things don't get voted in.
I don't. Here's an example. You know, I dress. You know that.
Yeah.
So I tell my kids, we made a dress code, right?
Yeah.
And I tell them kids, I say, hey, listen, you don't got to dress like nobody. I said, do you watch golf? You see what they wear? It's their flavor. It's their swagger.
Yeah.
I want you to have your swag. You know, but you got to be neat. I don't want no T-shirts.
Right.
Oh, but we got to be comfortable playing pool. Those guys are comfortable playing golf.
Yeah, look at the snooker players. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
They'll
about.
be all right.
That's what I'm talking about. But I want to make the reward worth it for them. That's what I want.
And you are. I mean, I think these youth programs do that.
Oh, yeah. We definitely changed the culture a lot. And I've been lucky that the representatives that we have who've been representing themselves are fantastic. And we have them on both ends of the spectrum. Like my man Eddie Vonderow, who the world is probably getting to know. I'm telling you, watch out for this kid. He's going to be that dude. He's
that whole crew is going to be that way.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, that's the next Moscone team.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
I said it. I'm telling you, one of them kids in that little elite circle of genius, they're going to make the Moscone Cup, and they're going to shock the world.
Yeah.
Because they hungry.
Yeah.
They want to, listen, FSR, filler, okay, I get it. I'm at the extremes. But these kids they want to beat you down. They want what you got.
Well, and that's a healthy motive.
Yeah. You an anime guy?
No.
You ever watch Afro Samurai?
No.
So Afro Samurai was a samurai, right? And he had a headband. It's the #1 headband. And all the bad guys in the world come after him because if they beat him, they get the headband. That's what those pro players are to these young kids. They want your headband.
Yeah.
They want, I beat.
And good.
Yeah.
Go get the headband.
Be on
Go get it.
game because we need it. We need the headband hunters, bro.
we need the
headband hunters because if not, then we can sit back and be ready for Europe, Taiwan, Team Poland, Team Europe, just beat the brakes off us
constantly
for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy.
With no friction.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna ask your man who had the greatest rising Fargo ever. Whose Fargo went from 0 to hero, and they saw his development, and he got better and better and better.
You should. These are good conversations. Yeah. And I bet you it's somebody between 10 and 17 years old.
Right? Because that's where you get the growth spurt and you get up. Like, I want to see, imagine if AJ Manis had a Fargo.
Oh, dude.
Right? So you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Imagine if he had a Fargo.
He doesn't?
I mean, he probably got one now.
Yeah.
But when he was a bum, he probably didn't have one.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we had direct data from when they started.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to do.
Well, you have that now with these kids.
That's what I'm talking about.
You'll be able to see
the
that.
rise before. That's Johnny Nine Mean, right? It's one of my little.
We're talking about you guys.
Yeah, real bad. I'm talking about you real bad, Johnny. Anyway, I just see how you see that you can't buy that connection that I have with these kids. You can't buy it.
Right.
You can't fake it. You can't make it. You can't do nothing.
No, I agree.
Them kids know genuine.
Yeah, they
know,
do.
They know genuine, and they will be like, okay, you're not what we want. We're gonna go do this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm happy. I hope that Calmer has prevailed and all this WPA, Matchroom, all this stuff. I hope they all figure it out, because we're only hurting the people who are coming up after the people who are there. We should be trying to consolidate with power instead of tearing down. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who's who or what's what. I don't got no horse in the race, but I'm sitting there telling these kids, I feel like I'm lying to them.
Well, it's hard to not know what's going to happen.
That's brutal, bro.
It is brutal, especially for guys trying to promote.
Right, that part.
You know, that fracturing, and we saw it in Vegas. It was a much smaller event because a lot of those guys couldn't play.
That was brutal.
But that happens on both sides of the coin too, where you gotta, you want these people to be able to play and thrive and make a living and be a pro. You know, I mean, you got guys that are so good at what they do and can't make a living, especially that mid-pro-am level, that 690 to 730.
Yeah.
They're not good enough to be against these guys, but they're too good to play in the local events. And so that low-level pro guy is really in a hard spot right now.
Man, you might have gave me my next idea.
If you fill that gap,
you might have just gave me my next idea.
Remember when we did the golden ticket when we partnered with Matchroom?
Yeah.
So our logic for that was that player needs a chance to go compete against the best, U.S. Open type of thing, right?
Facts.
So when we put the Salado Golden Ticket together with Matchroom, that was part of the motive, was that 690 guy to 720, 730, even 740. We were hoping that we would get those guys to use our product to go to the U.S. Open.
I like that.
Yeah. They need an outlet. Otherwise, they end up trying to dump to get into lower events, and then nobody else has any fun because they're so good.
Yeah.
Or they need an outlet to get better and train, and it's. I mean, like, look at how deep the U.S. Open of tennis plays.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if Pool had the budget to pay that deep. These 700 guys would be able to make a living, and then they could get better.
So you don't know this, but I'm a Hollywood guy, and I talk to a lot of Hollywood people about it. And I'm gonna tell you the main problem is because the people who represent it, you don't got that star yet.
I agree.
The closest that we have to a star, I think right now, it's got to be BB, and to me, it's Sophia.
Yeah, they're doing it at the youth level, and at the high level, you've got Federer.
Yeah.
That guy's.
No, he's a machine.
He's a machine, but he's also got that presentation and that work ethic and that awareness. That's what we need.
He's a monster.
And they're fun to watch. As people learn to watch the game and enjoy the nuances and the difficulty, then it gains publicity. But publicity brings dollars bring, it's all this cascading sort of effect.
No, the guy I forgot is Thorpe. Thorpe has the move arounds. With all the mistakes he made, he's got the things to make you want to root for him.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves a comeback story, right?
Exactly.
You fall from grace and you get busy.
Yeah.
You do your work.
Exactly. You put the work in, and then nobody's sitting there cry before you. Yeah.
Right.
So I think there's guys that have the opportunity. Like, if a Hollywood person just marketed him, he'd be like, what's that reality show? duck hunter, duck whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No?
I can't think of the show name.
Yeah,
but I know
whatever that show is.
Yeah.
He'd be that guy.
I know.
Because if I'm from Kentucky or wherever you're at, and I'm Yeehaw America like him and Sky, whatever, the Bluegrass Brothers, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna gravitate to them.
Right.
I want some fly New York dude.
Yeah, you need
I want some fly New York
personalities that we can relate to.
Exactly. That I'd be like, oh, I can hang out with him. Oh, he's cool.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I think the days, Kobe, of the standoffish pool player are done.
Yeah, they have to be done.
If you want to make a living.
Yeah, if you want outside money, you need publicity. If you want publicity, you need conduct.
That part. Conduct. Yeah. So here's some proof in the pudding. We had an event. It was one of our major events, and there are a couple of kids who were wearing a certain shoe, and the shoe just did not look professional. So I said, no more of those shoes.
Yeah.
Do you know the next time that those shoes came out, they did a billiard commercial? They put the shoes on a billiard table and said, wear what you want or something like that.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. Absolutely. I said, if you don't think that's a direct correlation of what I did, then you don't know what's happening. They was listening.
Yeah.
And I said,
good.
I said, hey, if you make a pool edition of your shoe,
let's talk. Yeah, there you go. Outside money.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm not hating on your shoe. I'm hating on what I'm trying to present.
Yeah.
Right?
That's great, man. That's really good.
And they responded, and people were like, I said, you think that's a coincidence?
Yeah.
You think that's a coincidence?
Coincidence doesn't exist.
That's exactly right. Coincidence only exists if you don't know what's happening.
Well, I better get back to work.
You listen. I stole my man real quick. I stole him, snatched him over here. I said we're gonna bring him over here. So I'm gonna have my man Sam Henderson. We're gonna step in the building. Kobe,
pleasure.
Do your little spiel, man. Let them know where they can hit you up and all.
Come
that.
to booth 303.
Right.
Hit up Salado. Come get a T-shirt. Play a match. Learn what we do. Learn how we do it and why we do it.
How did they get in touch online and where would they get the
www.salado.app. Hit us up on Facebook, Salado app, Instagram, Salado app. Come see us.
There you go. Boom. Kobe Fonterra in the house.
Cheers.
There it is. Cheers, mate. Peace out. Give my mic, man. Don't you got some apps to sell us on?
Yeah, I do have apps.
Get on out there, bro.
Pleasure, man.
Hey, I got you, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sam Henderson. Yeah, somebody else get the cue. Uh-oh. Oh. Let's go. I got you, bro.
All right.
Brett, I'm about to get your man, Brett. I'm about to get your man. All right,
just
America.
like playing pool.
That's right. All right, America.
All right.
This is what it is. You know my name, Hanna. What's your name, bro?
Sam Henderson.
Sam Henderson, a.k.a.
The Rhino.
The Rhino. That's what I'm talking about. No, I want to hear that, Sam Henderson. Tell them who you are, man.
Yeah.
Rhino, right?
Yep. The Rhino. Named after my middle name, Ryan.
Ryan?
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was cool that your nickname was the Rhino, because I thought it was like you charging, you getting ready to go, and
Well, people always say that. They say, like, when I get an opportunity at the table, I kind of have a Rhino charge, you know?
yeah. So if you guys been living under a rock, Sam is out there with the contingency of the other junior players that are really putting the heat on the big boys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, traveling to all the pro tournaments, you know, across seas, and just trying to make a name for myself.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Brett. Yay! All right. So that's got to be, first of all, you got to give a shout out to your parents, because that's got to be tough.
Yeah.
Everybody's
super expensive.
There, right? Super expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I think, you know, for you making these, where everybody's putting these hopes on you, like, well, Sam Henderson and this guy and that guy, they're looking to do it.
Yeah.
So do you relish that pressure, or do you not like it?
I do.
So keep it 100, bro.
You know, I do.
Okay.
I like it. You know, it's a little nerve-wracking, you know, when you go out there on the big stage,
right.
You know, Matchroom Stream table, and you're like, okay, don't mess this up.
Yeah.
But I do like it. You know, I like
That's
that
good.
my name's out there, that, you know, I'm one of the up-and-comers that has a chance to be someone big. you know.
Right.
So
represent the USA at that Moscone Cup. But that's what it's about now.
That's one of my main goals, Moscone Cup.
Main goal, you want to get there, right?
Yep. Within the next 2 years.
2 years?
Yep.
You'd be how old then?
I'd be 20 in 2 years.
Yeah, I think, there was a time when America, there would never be a chance for a junior. Well, you'd be a grown man. Well, no, junior's still under 21. If you under 20, that would still be a junior making a Moscone Cup. And I think, I said this a million times, I think they should do it. Because in football, right, if I'm the main quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And there's nobody else after me, I get hurt, then my team loses, right? But you're the number one star from college, and you're coming up. You got to get some reps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Or you're there and you're taking notes. You're in the game.
Yep.
We can't just take somebody from out of nowhere and try to put them in the game and say, okay, let's go win.
Yep.
I think this new generation of you guys at least have the brain cell power to get there.
Yeah. You got to season a couple of players that are coming up.
Yeah.
So that way, 5-10 years down the road, USA starts winning.
Yeah, I think, I'm just going to keep it 100. I think USA and everybody, I know it's tough. We got to do a better job of supporting you guys, though. I think, in those countries, that's what I like. I like in the other countries, exactly the hierarchy where you're at in the country. Like my man Chang Jung-Lin, he explained the culture in China and Taiwan and stuff like that. You know where you at. Like, if you're a lower player, you can't even practice in the room where the good players play. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
And they have federations that, pay for everything. And
I mean, so it would be a position that you earn.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You go through this tour or whatever, you win this, you get a chance to be here.
Yeah. I mean, like other countries, playing pool is looked at like a job over there, where here it's just looked at like a hobby.
Yeah, but you guys, the juniors are coming along and changing that. Landon, Payne, Lazaro, Nico,
Cash
Keaton, got something for you, bro. Listen, I talked to Cash Keaton. That dude, he's one of them ones.
Yep.
Cash, he got the perfect name.
Yeah, he does.
Cash can.
He's a stone cold killer.
Stone cold.
Yeah.
Stone cold.
I don't think I've ever seen him get nervous, to be honest.
No, I think if he does, he handles it in a different manner than when people get nervous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he likes that little bit of pressure and things like that to come on. But the world cannot 100% convince me that 2 years we couldn't put it together. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna do a little while.
All right.
Moscone Cup.
Cup.
Okay, so they picked the United States team. I picked 5 juniors.
Okay.
If we pick 5 juniors, and let's say the race is 2, what would be a long race that you would respect? What a long race between 2 teams? What would that be? What would that be that you would respect?
Between like a Moscone Cup?
Yeah. Hey JJ, 1 second. If you had this year's Moscone Cup players, right, and a team of 5 juniors, what would be a respectable race that if the juniors won like 70% of that, they would get respect? Would that be a race of 13, a race of 11, a race of 15, a race of 21?
In what manner? What do you mean?
9 ball. 9 ball.
But what do you mean with the juniors?
So you got the Moscone Cup team, and then we get a team of 5 juniors to challenge
versus Team USA's juniors.
Challenge the Team USA juniors.
Oh, Team USA juniors versus Team USA
Moscone Cup.
Okay.
So what would be a respectable score? Is that
that you would say, man, them juniors had a chance. And what would the race be?
Well, just keep it to 11.
Okay, so a race to 11. So where would the line be?
6 or 7.
That's what I'm talking about.
Really
They'd be doing real good, right?
Absolutely.
See, that's what I'm talking about, America. I think that should happen. That's what I think, because that can prove if the juniors are ready or not. If you get whitewashed and blistered, then you can't hang, right? But if you got respectable number, then I think that somewhere down the line, they should pick a junior to join the team. You got to give the man some reps. You got whoever it is, they got to get some reps to get in the game. All that pressure, and JJ knows, in the world, nobody know that pressure better than the coach or the people who've been in it. We could all talk, oh man, if you could play, but that pressure is different. Race to 5, all them people screaming at you, the whole atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? The reputation of the United States on your back, that's got to be pressure.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler Steyer, for example, they threw him in 2018, and, you know, now he's a Moscone Cup star.
Yeah.
You know, no, I didn't know who Tyler was.
I did. Tyler Steyer got that dog in him.
Yeah, he does.
That's the one thing.
I had no clue who Tyler was when they picked him, and now he's a Moscone Cup star.
I'm with it.
Be patient, because I think there'll be a junior that earns their spot.
No. Listen, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying give nothing. Hanna not saying give nothing. I'm talking about earn his spot on the way. But so rightfully, so that would be what he'd have to win a matchroom event. He'd have to. I want a concisive mark that they can aim to. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? As you being the captain,
there's 2 ways to do it.
Tell me, Double J.
There's simply rankings and convince the coach you're the guy to get.
Okay, then that's what's up. So if they was up there in the ranking, they'd have to be higher than the other guys, or where would it have to be? Disrespectful?
Top 3, you know.
Top 3.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So that's concrete. I don't like the wish upon a star stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm top 3 in the United States, I deserve to go. You didn't give me nothing. I went out there and got it.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about, juniors. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you need. You need that attitude. Hey, bro, I'm with you, Double J. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? That attitude. So then nobody can say, oh, well, he made it because he's on Team Cuetec.
Yeah.
Or he made it because he beat a lot of people, and this is his ranking.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm glad he said that. That's what that's what I was getting to. I don't want, because right now it's foggy.
Yep.
Right?
I have the words on my wall. Don't wish for it, work for it. I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect for Moscone Cup.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that. So whoever it is, whether it's you, whether it's Joey Tate, whoever, it's got to be people who want it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Willing to, travel, willing to get those points.
Yeah. And listen, Junior, you know Hanna knows. I know that's tough, man.
It is.
If you ain't got an uncle named Benjamin and he ain't donating money to you, bro, it's got to be rough, right?
Oh, it is.
It's rough on the parents. It's rough on everybody,
Super stressful.
To sit there.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be you and go to some place and go 2 and out.
Yeah.
I'd hate that. I'd hate that for myself.
It's the worst feeling in the world when you travel all the way across the world.
Yeah.
And then, but at the same time, though, you get experience, You're building experience.
Well, I want cheap experience.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend all that money, bro.
Yeah.
Trevin Clark in the building. What's up, fam? All right, in the house, my man. DJ ACL in the building, talking to one of America's future, juniors out there promising, out there putting in the work, traveling the world and trying to live his dream. And I'm just trying to get America to let me know where the bar is at, so then I could set my team to go attack that. Because then, this is what I don't want. I don't want to tell anybody. I don't want to tell Laz. Hey, Laz, if you become number 3 on the top rankings, you get to go to Moscone Cup. Then he makes top 3 and he don't get to go.
Yeah.
That part. I don't want to tell Sam Henderson, hey, man, you make it to there and you don't make it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I get it if, a big part for me, though, is team chemistry. And I hate to say this, but I know in my heart it's true. We ain't had that team yet, because you guys don't get to practice together or live together or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like a potential Team USA.
Yeah.
Like they put them together, then you got maybe a week. Everybody says online, and you guys can agree or fight with me. Everybody says, well, good pool player, he don't need to practice with a team. He don't need to do this. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You got to figure out, how you going to figure out Scotch doubles combinations that work if you guys don't never play with each other.
That's one thing I noticed is Team Europe kind of picks based off of who's going to play good doubles together, Because those are half the points. Doubles are half the points.
See what I'm talking about, right?
Pick a good player, but you also got David and Fran as a perfect matchup.
Bro.
They're a perfect matchup.
Perfect.
Yeah. And
because I mean to cut you off. Fran was the apprentice and Dave was the teacher.
Yep.
Right? But Fran he didn't he didn't rebel against that, and David gratefully gave the information. So when Fran shined, Dave was like, yeah,
yep,
that's my dude.
Yep,
that's right. And Fran is like, yes, I made it here because of that guy.
Yep,
that's what I think we need some of.
Yeah, I mean, we have Sky and Billy who gel well together.
Oh yeah, yeah. But we need a whole Jerry McWorter in the house. We need more of that. We need more.
Yeah.
We need more because they can only play once. You know what I'm saying? They only play once. So we need.
And I feel like, I don't know, the last 2 years it kind of seemed like Federer and Shane kind of are putting way too much pressure on themselves as well.
You're the two best players on the team. I think Sky's up there too.
Yeah.
You're supposed to win.
Yeah.
You said, man, I bet money on you. You lost? How do you lose? How dare you?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I agree with you, and that's a good realization to understand that.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, Sky, that's too much pressure for two dudes. Yeah. And I don't think that pool prepares you for that.
Yeah.
You know? Because in reality, and I tell the kids that too, at Junior Worlds or whatever, I say it's different when you got USA on your back. You're not Sam Henderson and Rhino, you're my Mosconi Cup team member.
Yeah.
You're Team USA member, right?
Yep.
Team USA member, Sam Rhino Henderson, right?
Yeah.
So I think if we don't get you guys prepared to go to war, then how can we get mad if you go to war and get slaughtered? Those Europeans been playing together forever.
Yeah. You know,
all right, I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you this. Bro. How many teams could Europe put together that would beat USA? You see his face? He don't have to answer it now, because I already know.
I'm gonna say,
if it's more than one, it's too much.
I'm gonna say 3.
See? And how many teams can Team USA put together to battle those 3?
1.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Now, do you think, Sam, it's because they get to pick all over here, we only get to pick here? Or do you just think it's
I think they just put in way more work than we do.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. They put in the work. They're practicing. You know, I mean, we have Federer who's practicing 8 hours a day. You know, and Tyler.
Yeah. And
then, but all of their guys, even number 100 in Europe, he's out there practicing 5-6 hours a day.
How you like it? But it also is like what you said, though. He has been given the opportunities to not worry about the rest of what he has to worry about in order to go practice. Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd like to go practice 8 hours a day, don't have to do nothing, or your mom don't have to foot the bill or anything like that. That's what I think, that if we really want to get there and we really care about you guys making it to the next level, we have to do something to help.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
I completely agree.
I sincerely think that it's not going to be a pool sponsor. I think it's going to be somebody that finally reaches that level or that gate to where State Farm or Fruit Loops or Wheaties or somebody. I'd love it if it was Red Bull. They got more money than anybody.
Yeah,
imagine if Red Bull did it, bro.
That'd be crazy.
Red Bull, come holler at us, man. Let's do the Junior World All Around, sponsored by Red Bull. The kids win scholarships to college. Sorry. What about something like that?
That'd be pretty sweet.
Nuts,
you know, that'd be great for the sport. That'd be great for USA Pool. We could just get a big company. You know.
Yeah, a big company.
That's but you know, it's just the problem with the US's pool is just looked down upon in the US.
Well, you
just don't see it as like
know why,
golf.
Sam? You know why? Because we used to beat the brakes off all of them.
Yeah.
They come to America and get destroyed.
Yeah.
You got to play Earl, Buddy. You know,
Earl was the best player in the world for 15 years.
And they would come and play. These people would come and play and get beat up.
Yeah.
And then they started beating us up.
Well, I think it was Moscone Cup that did it. You know, we beat them like 10 years in a row, and they were like, okay, we've had enough of that.
It was a joke.
They started getting coaching.
Yeah.
They started, you know, federation started paying.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, turned around.
They're tired of getting beat up.
Completely turned around. You know, USA, and the problem was USA just stayed the same. You know, they didn't make any adjustments.
Y'all heard him, right? I didn't say that. He said that. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. So,
I think we're starting to move a little bit in a better direction right now.
I think it's getting a little better.
Yeah.
I think
this is the best group of juniors that USA has had in a long time.
Payne, Landon, Laz, you, Cash.
And no, I mean, I know he's young, but you can't, you know, Hayden Ernst.
Come on, man, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Yo, Mav.
Yeah.
Mav, what's up? Your boy Hanna. That's my guy.
Yeah, he's already, what is he, 13? And he's already playing like 680 speed. It's gross.
That little dude's gonna be, everybody. He reminds me of Joey Tate when Joey Tate was coming up.
Yeah, he reminds me of Landon. I think, you know, because I mean, I know, like, I feel like his favorite player.
Yeah.
Well, I think his favorite player is SVB.
Right.
But I think his second favorite player is Landon.
Landon, yeah, for sure. But, yo, everybody needs that mentor, that little person that helps you get over the edge, that makes you better.
Yeah.
Yep. Can nobody get there? Can nobody get there by themselves? Mm-hmm. Can nobody get there without no help? Yep. And, you know, USA, it's up to us to help these young people with their dreams.
Yeah.
And when I see $400,000 Calcuttas, I just think, what could that $400,000 do for youth pool?
No, it's in a 600 and under.
Don't you miss them days?
I know.
Them days 600 and under?
Yeah, that's another problem with the U.S. is like people are looking at it as like, if I stay under 600,
all day,
that's where all the money is.
Yeah.
If I get any better than that, it's like, well, man, I can't win any more money.
Sam, I'm gonna stay at 600. Yeah. I'm gonna go to the split bracket in Iron City Billiards.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make 100,000.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go be at 800 and make 5,000.
Yep.
10,000. I gotta beat 10 of the world's best players.
Yeah. Like 740 to 770 is like the worst place you can be.
Right.
You know, because you're traveling all around the world trying to get these ranking points. And then you draw a world beater first round. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like you look at these 600 guys and they're making $100,000 when they win a tournament.
Right.
And you just drew a world beater even though you played 20 balls better than them.
Exactly. But then you playing 20 balls better, drawing dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And you just gotta put in more work.
Yeah. I think though. So this is me. This is what I would do. So if I'm a pro player, like I said, you said 770, 730.
Yeah.
If I'm a player in that and I got a week break, right?
Yeah.
And I'm from the United States, I'm gonna call Tyler Steyer, Chris Reinhold. SVB is the GOAT of it. SVB. Who else got a real good break? United States.
In the United States?
Yes. World class break. World class. Shane?
Man, I don't.
Just world class. What would be Shane?
I would say the best breaker in the United States is Tyler Steyer.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So if my sorry break, right, is horrible, what's the average price of you to travel to a place? Average price, 5,000, 6,000.
For like Tyler to coach you?
No.
Oh.
For you to go to a place to go play pool, what's your average cost for you to play pool?
Oh, like if I were to travel over to a tournament.
Yeah, travel to a tournament.
Like if I were to go to Germany, it's like a $500 entry fee.
Right.
$1,000 flight.
Okay.
$700 hotel.
All right, 6,000, 7,000.
I would say in between like 4 and 5.
Okay, 4 and 5. I go to Tyler Steyer.
Yeah.
And I say, how much would it cost for you to teach, not the fake break? How much would it cost for me to pay you to teach me that break? And whatever it costs, I would save it
Yeah, I bet.
And I wouldn't play nothing.
I bet it'd be in between like $5,000 and $10,000.
Oh, I think it'd be more. Tyler,
you think more?
Yeah, Tyler ain't giving away for free, bro.
No, yeah.
He ain't giving. So my point is, right? Okay, so say it is 10 racks, right? I save 10 racks. I don't go to 2 tournaments. I save 10 racks. I take them lessons with Tyler. Now my break is world class. Mm-hmm. Now I go snap off a tournament that's 30, or I snap off 4 little ones that are 7, 8, 9. Don't you think that's worth it?
I do.
So why don't Americans go get coaching? I don't understand that, bro.
Yeah.
Sam, I don't understand that, bro. You'd rather hit your head against a rock and keep doing the same wrong things like all the time?
Yeah.
And just you're playing Ortiz would say, don't hope shoot, sure shoot. Right?
Yeah.
Don't hope shoot. Know you're gonna make it. Know you're gonna get position. So the only way you do that is through reps and through training. Somebody can say, you don't know, you got a slight chicken wing or whatever it is. I don't know. Or your stance and your feet is off, whatever it is. But that little note could make you better.
Yeah.
Somebody say, hey, did you know on your draw shot your head moves? And then you're like, no, I didn't know that. And then you stop moving your head and the balls go in. Yeah. Right? So wouldn't that be worth it?
It would be. You know,
I don't understand why people don't do that.
Nice try, Ben. I'm in the same boat. I have no idea.
No, I feel you. But I think that's what I'll bet you this. SVB. I think if you were dead serious and he knew you were dead serious, he'd teach you that break.
Yeah,
I mean, he gonna charge you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
He's gonna charge you. But listen, one tournament you win, you get that money back, and then he can't take the break away from you after you pay for it. It's yours, right?
Yeah,
it's yours.
It's just an investment. You know, it's just an investment into your game.
Yeah,
I definitely completely agree with doing that. You know, maybe I might just reach out to Tyler after this.
You like that, right?
I do.
See?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you this though. Tyler Steyer is he's a American.
Oh yeah.
Like he's for America.
Oh yeah.
And if he knew that you was okay, let's not do this. This is what happens. I go play. I say, hey Tyler Steyer, teach me how to break. He says, okay. I pay you the money, and then next time Tyler Steyer sees me, I say, hey Tyler, let's gamble some. Right?
Yeah.
I'm disrespectful. Hey, let's gamble some. I'll take the 8. I'll take what's going. And then that person who taught you said, man, I taught you how to do that.
Yeah.
And now you want to use it against me. So why should I tell you anything? Why don't you get it the way I got it? From the mud, playing $50 sets, losing your brains, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's what happens. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Don't do that. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful.
I've seen it happen before,
yeah, of course.
Well, the student asks the teacher to gamble.
Listen, you should always aspire where the student will overtake the teach. I'm with all that 24/7. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to be disrespectful about it. Like you're gonna tell, you take boxing lessons from Mike Tyson, and you say, hey Mike, let's box around for real. Let's do 2 rounds. And Mike takes your head off.
Yeah.
So I taught you that, but I didn't teach you everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, come on, son. Have some respect for the players that come before you. My junior players out there. Don't be that person, man. Don't ask somebody to teach you something to get you better, and then you want to use that against them. That's corny.
Yeah.
You're a cornball.
I completely agree.
You're a cornball. So I ain't gonna hold up too much of your time. My man Rhino. I'm gonna get some people in the house. He in there representing Team Tech, so you know he gotta be right. I know that weight on your shoulder is pretty tough, bro. But you know, from the way they talk about it, you probably built for it. But I just still would like to see a team of young juniors come together against a common goal. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I want to see it. So, you know what I'm saying? If I can see it, I can believe it. Your man, Hanna, representing the Raw Deal, and
Sam Henderson.
The Rhino, representing all that stuff on your shirt that you're going to say.
Yep, Cuetec and How.
All right, represent.
Oh, and onboard. Onboard. Onboard as well. I completely forgot.
This guy don't even All right, we're signing off. Sam Henderson in the house, the Raw Deal. I think I'm coming back with Jillian Whitten. If time permits, I will. If not, I might see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Yeah, your man over there, he did good. Yes, he did. Hey, Chad, how'd he do? Let me know how he do in the chat, yo.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I think we're gonna grab Jillian Whitten and bring her in the chair, and we're gonna see what's happening.
I know.
So I'm gonna grab her. I'm gonna see if she's available, and I shall be right back. Give me a minute. I love this because it's magnetic.
Yeah?
Yep. Just put it a little higher. There you go.
Let me put this so I can get my good side out.
Right. We are in the building. Hanna's in the house. The raw deal, you know, we're breaking it down. And if you don't know now, you're going to know. Introduce yourself.
Jillian Whitten, Whitten Gun Cases. Where am I looking here?
Yep, that's you.
Okay. Whitten Gun Cases, Whitten Cases. My family's been in the billiard industry since 1987. And just super excited to be here.
Yeah. I first met her 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Because I love Whitten cases. I got indoctrinated into the Whitten world with Gina Q. He said, he said, you wouldn't put a Volkswagen hubcap on a Cadillac or something like that. He said, so if you got a good Q, you got to put it in a Whitten case.
That's right.
How did you get involved? I mean, obviously family, but how did you get involved?
Sure. Well, I mean, essentially family.
Okay.
I mean, so I was born into it.
Right.
Right? So when my parents started the business in 1987, and I was young, so they would have me cut little pieces of leather. They would bring me to this show.
Okay.
I would hang around, go around, see everybody, and I would just continue to be into it. And then I've always been creative.
Right.
So I would really essentially fabricate things on my own. I would think of something and then I would make it. And I had a little bit of guidance always from my mom and dad. What do you think I should do here? Or how could I do this?
Okay.
And I would make things out of leather on my own.
Wow.
And then I was taught by my parents how to create the cases and however I wanted to move forward. Structure, temper, sewing, all that stuff.
See, the things we're talking about, Whitten would have to be like the Bentley Rolls Royce of cases.
Yes.
I think it would be her, them, Jack Justice, like the top level.
Yes.
The case might cost more than your Q.
Yes.
The case might cost more than your Q, right?
It can.
I'm right?
Yeah.
And, you know, iconic players and players who are players, when you made it, you got a Whitten case.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Thank you.
Little line right there.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's true because, you know, the guys in the pool hall where I was at, when they broke that Whitten out, you know when they took whatever they had inside it, you know it was coming.
That's right.
Yeah, so I see that the reputation that Whitten has built is durability, reliability. Mm-hmm. It's going to last. And that the most thing I hear is the customer service and support that I receive from you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that one of the things that we're really proud of is that if you have a Whitten case, it's made by a Whitten. We don't farm our things out. We don't have employees. So you're dealing directly with the maker, and who cares more? Who cares more than the person that has their name on it? That's how it should be. That's what we think.
That's right.
So you deal directly with my brother. You know, he took over the business quite a while ago. But prior to that, you dealt directly with my dad. You knew my mom. And it was really just us. And then with me and my own business, the same exact way.
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you some things you guys are not going to believe after we get past this case. So what is the ordering process for a Whitten case?
Okay, so it's a great question. Every case is custom and made to order. You would talk directly with my brother Joe. You would tell him what size case you're interested in having made. You would tell him if you needed something like a tailored fit. You would talk about a design process in terms of leather or wild and exotic hides.
Right.
All of those things are options. Maybe you want to have your case match your cue or favor your cue, any of those things. So all the customizations, names, logos, inlays, on and on and on. It's really if you can kind of dream it, then Joe can work it out.
Make it happen.
Yep. So you talk directly with my brother, and the ordering process right now is he's delivering in July of 2027.
Hold up. That's what I wanted her to get to. Say that again.
Yes, sir. July of 2027.
For a pool case.
Right.
Do you guys understand what I'm saying? July of 2027.
Yes. So July of 2027. So really right now all it takes to get on his list is a small deposit, $150 to get on his list. And you don't even discuss the full concept of the case right now, because in 2 years your wants, your needs may have shifted a little bit.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Right? So in 2 years he will guarantee that, you know, prices may go up.
Right.
Cost of goods, materials may go up, but your case will not go up more than 15% from the date of which you place the deposit. So it's a way to secure yourself into a spot.
Okay, what's the most exotic case material that you guys dealt with, or that you had to make a case from?
Yeah, so one of the coolest cases that I think Joe ever made was a case for Troy Polamalu.
Wow, from the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. See what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it had, I want to say, it was full gator, which is very common.
Yeah.
But the inlays, I believe, were ivory and mother of pearl, and they were really fabulous.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's the. So you hit two spots I want to be on. Troy Polamalu has a Whitten.
That's right.
You understand what I'm trying to tell y'all? Troy Polamalu has a Whitten, custom made by a Whitten.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me, and I think that adds to the prestige of it, that you have a Whitten case. And for sure, I had one. Those things are tanks.
Yes.
Those things are tanks.
Totally. Of course they're beautiful. Yeah, like everybody can do beautiful, but to be totally functional is another step. And one of the things that is really special to Joe's case, and something that we're very proud of, is the interior construction. So the interior construction has individual compartments for each part, right? So your butt and your shaft. And they're loose, they're not tight. Because Gina Q, Ernie Gutierrez, came to us and said, I love your case because of this, and this is how it has to be. Because you don't want the oil on your hands, a little bit of sand on your hand to get on your cue, and then to put that into your case and it'll scratch it.
Oh, man.
You also need the wood in your cue and the finish and everything to be able to breathe, and it can in our case. The interior of the Whitten case is also removable by Joe. Should something happen to it, it's soiled, or maybe you spilled something down in there, or you want it out for some reason, Joe can totally replace that. So they're absolutely beautiful. They're as strong as can be on the outside. They're as light as possible, but they're totally functional as well as beautiful.
Next time we come here, I'm gonna let you guys, what is it, Whitten.com? They can go Whitten.com and see them?
WhittenCases.com. WHITTEN.
Okay, now we're gonna get into stuff that you guys aren't gonna believe, but I'm gonna make you a believer. So, tell them what you do as your little hobby. Now, I'm being facetious. Tell them what you do.
Okay, so I grew up making cue cases, grew up in my family business. My brother is 8 years older than me, Joe. After university, I wanted to do something similar, but Joe had taken the business over when I was in high school. So I wanted to do something similar, but not the same exact thing. Joe was doing it incredibly well, and he is. He has made me as his sister and my parents in heaven. Just the legacy, just so proud of what he's done with the Whitten name. But as I said, I wanted to do something similar, but not the same thing. So I started making gun cases because I am into the shooting sports. My husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, is a competitive shooter, long-range precision rifle, and he's also an avid hunter. So I took the things that I was interested in, and I spawned my own business out of that.
That's insane. That you take the same quality aesthetics and you moved it from stuff, because there ain't nowhere in the world somebody think, so I'm a pool case and I'm gonna make a gun case.
That's right. Well, actually, my dad said, let's make him a gun case. So he made him one as a gift. And then it really just spawned from there. So then my dad and I perfected the gun case, did all the tests, did everything that we thought was appropriate. And and I've been making them for many years now.
That's amazing.
And I also specialize in using customer harvested hides. A lot of my clients are big game hunters, all in the name of conservation. Right. Always
thinning the herds and stuff like that.
That's right. And always, always legal, always tagged, always licensed, only above board stuff. And they bring me the hides of the animals they harvest, and then I make them these products out of it as a final tribute to the animal to tell their story of their hunt.
That is dope. So now, from there, I know you got some exotic stuff.
Yeah, totally. So I have worked with like every African animal that you can think of.
Wow.
So, and then I've also worked with, obviously the common stuff like alligator and ostrich. Axis
the stuff you have around the house.
Axis is a very popular hide. It's a spotted deer hide. It's very beautiful. One thing that someone brought to me that was really wild was a brown bear.
Okay.
Yep. They took that and they brought that to me, and the hair was like that thick.
Yeah.
It was really wild. Really wild.
Wow.
Sometimes I get hides in and I don't even know what they are, and I have to look them up.
You gotta look them up.
Yeah.
So, how does Joe feel about where you branched off at? How does he feel?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's really proud of me.
I would have to say, because that's innovation where it wasn't nobody thinking about that. And now you made your own little niche industry.
Yeah, and it took a while, the billiard industry is significantly smaller than the firearms or the hunting industry.
All day.
So it took me a while to get out there and to have people know Whitten for Whitten and Whitten for me.
Right.
But I think Joe's proud of it. One thing that he says to me often is that I have a mind where I can, remember how I said I would just create things?
Yeah.
So I have a mind where I can think of something I want to make, and I can reverse it in my mind of where I should start and then how I can get there, right? So I make a lot more products than just gun cases.
Yeah,
so Joe makes the Q cases, and since I have people that like what I do, I'll make the gun cases, and then they've asked me for some specific handbags that they might want.
Yeah.
And then I'll do like pillows or small accessories, especially since they bring their hide a lot.
Okay.
We'll have a lot of skin left over, and we want to maximize usage.
Right.
So.
Okay, so I'm gonna break this down. Nobody want to race this young lady.
It's funny.
I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all don't want no smoke.
That's right.
Tell her what you do.
Okay.
Last time she told me this, it blew my whole mind.
It's very kind. Thank you. I'm an ultra marathon runner. I like to compete in mountainous regions, and the last race I did was 36 miles in Dalton, Georgia. And yeah, it took me 8 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay. You're going to break this down. What's the difference between an ultra marathon run? I know it is. I want them to know. An ultra marathon and a regular marathon.
Okay.
Right.
So a regular marathon is the average, 26.2, and then miles.
Yeah.
And ultra is anything over that. So even if it was one bit over that, 1/10 of a mile over that, it would be an ultra. So I primarily started doing 50 Ks, which is 31.07 miles. And then I just did a 36 miler last year.
So what is the mental preparation for that, for you?
Yep, excellent questions.
I might do this,
I mean, this might be like what you...
It might be what I do sometimes, but I'm not talking to a pool player now. I can ask real questions.
That's true. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mental preparation is really just discipline. I have to be extremely disciplined, because to run a race that long, I train for like 3-4 months. Like for instance, on that, let's see, sometimes I train that long. On that run that I did, I think I had 2.5 months to train, and that was really cutting it close. And I had 6 workouts a week, and I never missed one of them. So it takes planning, it takes discipline. I lift on top of that to become strong, to climb up those mountains for my endurance as well.
See, this is what I want y'all to understand. It's not like you run flat and it's cute and you out in the city.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Right?
No, it's all trail running. It's in the woods, and it's just up and down mountains constantly. And And then I'd say during the race, you really go through a few different phases of like, this is so fun. I've never had more fun. I'm the best runner ever. And then I hate this. And what was I thinking? I'm never going to do this again. And like, pick me up in the car and take me to the finish line. You just have absolutely no interest in continuing. But it just goes in waves. It goes in waves. But you have to push through all of that, because what you really just want to do is finish. And for me, any girl that comes up behind me, I do not want her to get past me. I just don't. So.
I don't think a lot of people are going to get past you. I'm going to ask you, I don't do nothing that's that extreme as that. But when I am in those zones by myself, some of my most creative things came.
Sure.
If you'd like to share, what's the one thing that you can remember that came when you was out there pushing yourself to the limit?
You know, when I push myself to the limit, I do a lot of talking with the Lord. The Lord is in everything that I do. And I have some of my greatest conversations with him when I'm by myself, just going, because there's, who else is there? You know? So.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I think the reason I wanted you to be on, because when we had that conversation, I said, man, this lady is different, and it was very eye-opening. I said, man, she's in the Q industry. She made her own niche into the industry. She does ultra marathon running, very low key. I'll tell you, there's not a lot of ladies in the house over here. It's a male-dominated industry.
That's true.
And to see her, I've seen her with the deflection. I've seen her with the yes. I've seen her do that. It's like a chameleon. Like, you adapt to each situation, you take it differently. That's why I wanted to know, like, when you're in that zone and you're back against the wall and you don't feel like you have any more in the gas tank, I think you would be a good person to talk to the youth, the girls that are coming up, to let them know, first of all, anything you want to do, you can do.
That's right.
Even if you think you can't do it. That's
right.
You're proof that it's done.
Thank you.
And right there behind you and to the right. Thanks. Yeah, I wasn't on air or nothing. It's okay. It's all good. We're good. This is why we had Super Biz Expo Live, guys. My man just asked me where Darren Alperson's booth is. Over there to the right. There you go. You got it. Yeah, that's my life. That's what I do every day.
All good. We're adapting. We're adapting.
He don't know. He didn't mean. He
didn't.
Yeah. So I think because I have some of the young ladies came and talked to me about some troubles they had overcoming, and I'm just like, hey, that's me. Hey, head against the wall. Yeah, I done ran my head through 15 million walls. Yeah. I have, and I got knocked out by 15 million walls. But guess what? I always got back up. But I always think sometime you can get the perception or the experience from somebody that you can relate to.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they can be like, wow, okay. Because if you was on not What's My Line or something, and I had to figure out what to do, ain't nobody gonna say she's an ultra marathon runner. Nobody gonna say, oh, she makes gun cases. Right. It'd be super difficult to figure out.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
Right? You can see, you'd be like, okay, she does fashion. I craft my own, whatever it is.
Sure.
I wouldn't be thinking gun case.
Thank you. Right? Yeah. Many people are totally shocked and very interested and almost like turn their head at me when they find out what I do, and they find that very interesting. It's totally not common, but I think to your point, Ra, I think that confidence is so key. Yeah. That you really have to believe in yourself, and that's a really difficult thing to do, especially as a female sometimes. Yes. It's easy to totally doubt ourselves and to tell ourselves, repeat the negative things about ourselves. And I think that we train our minds to believe what we tell it. And I think that you can work diligently to tell it something else, and then you will become that and you will believe it. I always say, if you feed your mind negativity, it's going to give you back negativity. That's right. And it's not easy. You got to work through things. Oh, no, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's, I think confidence is really good. And I love people. I love being with people. I love talking with people. I have no problem. I enjoy that. Yeah. So for me, that's easy. Yeah.
I think that's amazing. So here's a little parallels, right? She's in a male-dominated industry in pool cases. Then she goes straight to a male-dominated industry in gun cases.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to have, you got to be, no, it's probably not two people, but you have to have your work persona. And I know what I'm talking about. I know you know how to navigate between the different worlds, right?
Sure, yes.
And there's something that you had to learn, right?
Yeah.
And then perfect that skill. That's what I'm saying. I think that the young girls could learn from you.
I see.
How to navigate that where they're at.
I see,
Because
yeah.
I can't answer them questions for them.
Sure.
You know, and you're successful and you've been in it. You're like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need role models that you want to emulate.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Role models running. April Larson. I just think it was just so interesting. That's why I wanted you to share your story, because I wanted people to know that, you know, sometimes looks can be deceiving. You don't know what, and really not the limitations, only the limitations that you place on yourself.
Sure.
You know?
Totally. Totally.
Man, I done got all the juice out of this. I'm happy. I'm happy. I know you guys weren't expecting that, but I'm glad that she agreed to do it, because I think it's a perspective. It's a woman's perspective in a male-dominated industry, plus how she applied it to other things. So let them know where they can pick up, because I don't want Joe beating me up. Let them know where they can pick up, the way they can get on the order line for a Whitten case.
So Whitten cases. So you can email Joe at joe@whittencases.com. And that'd be a great place to start. His phone number is readily available. You can also text him. It's 727-418-2323. You can stop by and see him here at the show. Joe is
He's awesome.
He's awesome. He's a very fun person. He's great to talk to, and he really cares about what he's doing. We really, really, really care about what we're doing, so much so that we have to make sure we're the only ones that do it. Because if it has our name on it, then it has to be perfect. We've never been interested in being the biggest. We've just wanted to be the best of what we're doing.
Yeah, I heard that, right? That's how you do it. That's inspiring. I like that. I'm inspired. So I'm going to go and start making gun cases. Let me go. Hanna cases.
You put your own name on it.
I'm going to put Hanna on it. I'm going to buy it from Jillian. All right, man. This has been the Raw Deal. Jillian Whitten of Whitten Gun Cases and Whitten Cases.
Yes.
We are in the house. Check them out at whittencases.com. Where they can check the gun cases out.
whittenguncases.com.
There we go. We got to give the plug. Hanna out. We'll see you in a few. This is going to be, I think it's going to be the last show for today, unless I grab Frank Spain and Jaws. If y'all want to see Frank Spain and Jaws, just hold up. I'll see if I can grab them. Thanks, Jillian.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, you are great.
Pleasure. Oh, that was so nice. Thank you. That was fun.
See, I scared you, right?
No, you didn't scare me.
Good.
I just want to make sure if you had some expectations that I fulfilled.
I got you.
So, yeah.
I got you. I knew what I was getting.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you for those kind words
That
about
was
the young
awesome.
ladies.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that.
No, that's near and dear to my heart. I think you're a good role model. It's outside the box, and I think that they should talk to you, because you can talk to them in a perspective where it's at. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Hanna will be back in a few. I'll holla.
Fun. You got a good setup here.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play games. get them, but.
Are you hot, Mike?
No, not yet. Hold up. Just let me say this. Hey, so Hannah's in the house. We're in the house. I was going to grab Frank Spain, but I think that interview would be great. I don't want it to be a little short time, so I'm going to grab him later. I hope you guys enjoyed the show for today. We try to put some different energy in it. Let you guys, you saw Sam, Jillian Whitten, April Larson, and the Q Master himself, Mr. McWorter. I thought that was pretty dope. So tomorrow, we'll get you more of the same. I'm gonna try to get I've tried to get Sky and a Black Widow and our higher value targets tomorrow. But I think for today, we're gonna sign off. I appreciate you guys. You guys rock. The Raw Deal.